Hi guys, this is Max here, and today we have to talk, and we really have to talk about the primaries of August 16th, 2022. The most important of which being the US House primary for the state of Wyoming. Now, Wyoming is the smallest state in the country. It's even smaller than Vermont, which is my home state, but nonetheless, it has one of the most hyped representatives of the entire nation, Liz Cheney. She has chosen the path of not really talking about these standard Republican issues of inflation and the unpopularity of the Biden administration, and is instead focusing on Trump bad, Trump bad, Trump bad, Trump bad. Now, did Donald Trump do lots of things that were empirically wrong and that were potentially even corrupt and treasonous? Yes, he absolutely did. However, if you kind of run yourself as a single issue candidate with your sole focus being that Donald Trump is bad, it's not going to be too hard for other people to tackle you. I mean, there were anti Trump Republicans who were able to hold on because they also had other talking points. And it currently looks like Harriet Hagman is going to win over Liz Cheney. And here we have a clear map that shows which people have endorsed Liz Cheney. Adam Kinzinger and two Democrats, that's it. And all these red districts are incumbent Republican congresspeople that have endorsed her primary challenger. Now, for most of the impeachment Republicans, like the ones in Washington and the guy in South Carolina, the Republican leadership stayed mostly absent, didn't comment on it. Only Liz Cheney was the one that they all went after, and that's going to get a big blowout now. Now, Liz Cheney has George W. Bush and Dick Cheney, who have been out of office for a few years, and at least Dick doesn't have the best approval rating. Cindy McCain and Al Franken, the Democrat senator from Minnesota, as well. Like lots of people that you'd expect, super moderate people, and also John Boehner, just like the old guard of Republicans that's kind of starting to disappear. They've all endorsed her, and yeah, and a few Democrat representatives as well, though their list is pretty small. And Dan Crenshaw, Charlie Baker, Mike Sullivan. That's the income. That's the former governor. Sorry. Yeah, so that's what she's endorsed by O.J. Simpson. that's good to know. Actually, I'm still I think OJ didn't do it, but that's besides the point. I wonder how that'd be if OJ was campaigning for Liz Cheney. That'd be funny, wouldn't it? That'd be really, really funny. Anyway, Harry Takeman obviously has Donald Trump and all these representatives, and then there are a few of Donald Trump's sheeps that have also endorsed her, and Chuck Ray has Paul Gosar, a few state officials, and that's it. Now, it's not gonna be Chuck. It's gonna be Harriet Hagman or Liz Cheney. And it does look very much like Liz Cheney is on track to lose big time. And she's gonna lose because her opponent is polling at above 50%, and there are not too many undecideds. I mean, by some miracle, this could end up being a little closer, but it really does look like Liz Cheney is gone for good, as at least for now. I don't think she's gonna be gone forever. She will eventually have a comeback. Probably she'll run as a third party candidate to 2024 and try to steal as many votes from Donald Trump as she can just to prevent him from getting back to the White House. Because Liz Cheney actually hates Donald Trump. She's not doing that for her career, she really hates Trump. And honestly, I believe that hatred is sincerely felt. Now, in regards to the election, I believe that Liz Cheney will win three counties in the primary, like Cheyenne County, which is where she's from, and these two counties that actually voted Democrat for the presidential election. And it is pretty interesting because in Wyoming, even registered Democrats, I believe Democrats can vote in Republican primaries, and that's going to help her a little. So we're on the very rare case where you essentially have a competitive election between a Democrat backed and a Republican backed candidate in Wyoming. It almost never happens because even the biggest cities in Wyoming have almost no people in them. So unlike in most of the U.S., where just the cities outvote the rest of the state, in Wyoming the rural areas outvote the city. But this might be the only time in a long time that we see a race in Wyoming be even mildly competitive. And maybe take a screenshot. And maybe take a screenshot of this because you won't see me do another county map prediction for Wyoming in a while. Now, next up is Alaska. Oh, yeah, Alaska Senate. Now, let's take a little look at this. Now, oh, that's in 2020, sorry. Now, in 2022, Lisa Murkowski is the incumbent. And I'm actually going to endorse whoever the Republicans running against Kelly Shibaka. I'm not handing out an official endorsement for the Wyoming congressional race. I think there's good arguments in favor of Hagman and Liz Cheney, but none of these candidates are really rocking it. But in the Alaska Senate race, I am endorsing Kelly Shibaka simply because Lisa Murkowski only got in there because she got appointed literally by her dad, who, by the way, was the most despicable governor in Alaska history, who only ran for that office in order to get rich. I mean, Google his name. Google Frank Murkowski. He's the worst governor of Alaska and maybe even one of the worst in American history. Anyway, Frank Murkowski, go fuck yourself. And Lisa Murkowski is very corrupt, though that's not her main issue. Her main issue is that she's a fucking liberal. She's she's the most liberal Republican in the Senate, despite the fact that she represents a conservative state. She's gotta go. She's gotta go. Now. But I think that she's not in too bad of a position to actually hold on. I mean, these polls here, they don't really show her doing all that bad. I mean, she looks like she's getting a plurality, but that doesn't matter because in the end, in the general election, there'll be four candidates and then ranked choice voting. So we got to look at who's gonna make the runoff, the general election, and I'm not sure Al Gross is in this polling. He's not in the next one. So the this official poll with Dustin Darden, Pat Chesbro, and Lisa Murkowski and Kelly Chibaka has Kelly Chibaka up. But I have a hard time that the like Democrats are gonna vote for Kelly Chibaka in the second round. So probably his vote is gonna go to Lisa Murkowski, and that's gonna narrowly keep her in office come November. But for now, for the primary election, I think I made this county prediction. I think that the Democrat guy will probably win only two counties, the most Democratic ones. And Lisa Murkowski will do pretty well, but she'll do pretty well in the more liberal areas, while Kelly Chibaka will dominate the more conservative areas. But it will be enough for Lisa Murkowski to win a plurality at first, and then move on to the general election with a generally, I'd like to say, softly or slightly optimistic mindset, because even though I think she's the favorite now, she does not have this thing in the bag. And if there's enough aggressive campaigning against her on the Republican side, she might lose. However, Alaska is not that much of a red state, as if she's certain to lose. There's still lots of moderates, still lots of Democrats in there, and that's why I believe in the end Lisa Murkowski will hold on, but Liz Cheney will get thrown out. Sorry, Liz, but that's just the way how things go. Anyway, guys, have a nice day, and Max out. See you later.